What's up, Leafs fans? Welcome back to another Leafs Nation After Dark. I'm Zack Phillips, and tonight we're going to be breaking down game number 21 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season, defeating the Utah Hockey Club. Yes, the Utah Hockey Club. 3-2 here tonight, in what was a weird, kind of exciting for a bit, but then kind of sleepy Sunday night game. No Saturday night hockey night in Canada here for this Leafs team. You have to push it off to Sunday. It's the standalone game at night. It's going head-to-head with the NFL, except all of us that goes here in Toronto are going to be prioritizing that one here. And I was thinking about it after the game. Like, as soon as the game ended there, I was like, oh, you know, that's kind of a weird one. I wonder what the chat's going to say. I wonder how you guys are going to feel about that, because, you know, it wasn't like a dominant win against Utah. The third period felt strange as well, just based on the fact that, like, you were under siege for a lot of the game. But I don't know. I think that this was actually this is just a good win, and it's something that, like, makes me feel more confident about the group, about the team, about the way they were able to win here tonight, the fact that they were able to get this win, how decimated the lineup is, how many guys you're missing who are supposed to be regulars in this group. Like, you are missing depth guys of your regulars. Like, you are missing extra bodies of your regulars out of this, to the point where you've had to sign Alex Nylander to an NHL contract. Like, there's so much change that has taken place, and you're missing so much of the lineup. And I was like, you didn't get goalied. Your stars still get on the board here tonight. Willie and Mitch were dancing around. Nylander scores. Marner scores too, that is. You played pretty well defensively. Were able to kill off penalties there. Got lucky with some penalties the other way. I also saw stuff too. Like, I think it was Tic Tac Tomar on Twitter tweeted, like, yeah, this is one of those games where even the other team, like, the other team's getting pissed off with the way you're playing, and you know, slamming doors in the penalty box and stuff. They're mad on the bench, and it was like, yeah, there was some sloppy play, 100%, and that is kind of expected, or should be expected, that is, in these games where you're missing a lot of guys. But it's a good win. Like, it's a good, solid win from start to finish. We're going to continue to break it down here. We will talk about our play of the game, our grade of the game. We will get to the best bet for tonight. We'll talk about the Nylander brothers. And tonight's show is a presentation of Bet365, proud partner of the Leafs Nation pregame and the Leafs Nation After Dark. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N. That's code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. But yeah, I mean, this is a good game, man. I think it was okay for it to be sloppy. Blind Patriot says there will be sloppy hockey whenever two AHL teams play. Yeah, it's kind of should be expected, but I think we can be happy as fans and proud of this effort as a group, because you have a Sunday night game. It's not normal. The crowd, the energy, the atmosphere, it's going to be a little bit different. Hell, even the Golden Muzzies sitting in the lower bowl. I mean, come on. You think he's getting off his hands in there? Is he getting loud? I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe he'll talk about it tomorrow morning on the show. But different crowd, different environment, different atmosphere, the whole thing. And it didn't really matter. Like, you outshot them here tonight. Joseph Woll played pretty well. The only two goals that he allows on the night were tips. And honestly, the one he had zero chance on, I thought, the McBain one. It's tipped from right in front of him there. It's point blank, goes from being tipped at where it is likely a glove save to down just over his pad. And then the other one was, like, the only reason I say, like, this one he maybe could have had a shot at, which I don't even want to be the asshole who's going to say he could have got that one. But he he could have maybe got a stick on it, but it's like it's also a tap in at the side of the net on a beautiful pass from Dylan Guenther, slings it down to the side, and Benoit kind of just let him get in behind him there. I know the way that the system's meant to be played kind of has that being the case, where Benoit is going to try to get in between the top puck, like the puck up top, and the guy there, where you're not going to focus too much on boxing him out, but lose his position a little bit there. I thought he kind of should have been a little bit lower down. Probably hears about that one a bit, and it's a tap in at the side. I mean, the only thing could have just been, again, potentially, like, I don't know, could he have broken it up with a stick? Maybe, but outside of that, tap in at the side. Like, neither of these are his fault. Looking at the expected goals, the chances created, this is one thing. I know our guy Mario Kart is going to ask me to do it later on anyways, so I might as well just get to it now. It's something I do want to bring up here of tonight's game. Like, think about how ugly that one was. Think about how just strange it was, and how in the third period it was like, yeah, we faced an onslaught, but you're able to hold it off. Look at the deserve to win a meter here tonight. Again, I don't think it's everything, but look at the deserve to win a meter. 81.9% in favor of the Leafs. And this, the part that I'm going to show you guys next, is the one thing that I think is the most important part of this all. So, if you guys remember, one of the big conversations has been ability to get to the front of the net, playing perimeter hockey, not getting chance. Yeah, great. You got 40, 50 shots on the night. But how many of those shots or those chances were in tight? How many of those were meaningful, impactful chances, good opportunities by this team that actually could have went in? A lot of times it's just empty calorie shots, and we look at it at the end and people get mad when we're like, they didn't get a lot of opportunity here tonight. People are like, well, they had 40 shots. And it's like, well, not a lot of them were that great, or a lot of them were outside of the triangle or the trapezoid there, like the actual dangerous part of the ice. Look at this. Look at the deserve to win a meter here, 81.9%, and then look at the scoring chances. Look where all of these Leafs chances are all bunched up. Like, they had an outrageous amount of opportunity on top of the blue paint. This is what you want. This is simplifying the game. This is getting opportunities from point-blank ranges, getting in, being direct, as Berube said, getting on top of the goaltender, getting in front, screening, hacking and whacking away, not being afraid of the battle, not being afraid of getting hit. Like, you go to the dirty areas on the ice, and you are going to score goals and out-generate opponents on a nightly basis. I don't care if it's Utah, I don't care if it's the Vegas Golden Knights, and I don't care if you have half of an AHL lineup playing for you on any given night. If you play this style of hockey, when you have superstars like you do, and you have goaltenders playing as well as they are, you are going to give yourself a chance to win on any given night. You do this and you play hockey this way, this is the kind of stuff that gives you opportunity to have long-term success in the playoffs. I don't want to just say, hey, you know, this means they're going to have success. It doesn't. Things could obviously go wrong. Things could revert. They could play differently when it gets down to it. But this chart, the final time before I take it off here, this chart, look at the opportunities for the Leafs there in front. Look at the opportunities from the Utah here tonight. 2 goals for them. One of them right there at the side. The other one right there in the slot. Both tips. No shot for these guys. But the way that they are playing right now is drastically different than anything we've seen from this group. Just on top of the other team, net front chances, and actually creating dangerous opportunities night in, night out. Defensively, not allowing much to go on, not allowing too many exciting plays or anything like that happen for the other team. Not letting the penalty kill be any kind of downfall here where it's like, hey, we're just going to get peppered for 2 minutes. The power play here tonight, I thought looked actually pretty decent. Early going, I was like, this power play stinks. You go 1 for 6 on the night, obviously can be better. But early on, I was like, yeah, this is a problem. I was getting pissed off with the with the drop pass on the zone entry. I was getting a little bit annoyed with the perimeter peripheral play from these guys where they weren't going to the front. And then all of a sudden in the second and the third period, third period didn't really happen as much. The second period, it was like quick passes, making Utah collapse, which I think was one thing that previously, even to start the season, we weren't doing as much, where they would pass around the outside and never converge on the net. Now they're tightening that up. You are making Utah or your opponent any given night shrink down, shrink the box, shrink the box, shrink the box. If you can make the opponent shrink the box like that, you're going to generate opportunities the way that they did. Tonight on the power play, there were plenty of opportunities where there were passes zipped through the front looking for tips, screens, deflections, redirections. Like the goal Marner scores comes off a pass across to Willie for the one-timer who it's a slap pass essentially as he's taking the one-timer. He's just taken a couple other ones. So Vejmelka's probably thinking, hey, here comes a shot. And he tries to hit Minton in front for the redirection. Just doesn't get enough of it. It ends up going to the corner. Mitch goes to the corner and gets the puck and just fires it off Vejmelka's skate as he's skating back towards the net, and it goes into the net. Yeah, lucky, obviously. Heads up play by Mitch. But it's like, you are making you are making plays with the purpose of the puck going to the front. So many more chances created that way. Much more dangerous. And on top of that, the other thing is like, we don't need these guys, Nylander, Marner, Tavares. We don't need them jumping in and creating scrums. But so frequently, we would see them jump in to create or jump out of scrums when they start happening. Scrum goes on, boom, camera cuts, they're already at the bench. These guys aren't throwing bombs in the scrums here, but they will get in there in the front. They're not leaving immediately. I mean, we look at JT here now. It's like this guy's a different player. Scrum's going on in front of the net, stands there, not worried. Just stands there. All right, you guys are going to push and shove. I'll stand here too. I'm not going anywhere. Puck's in front. Hacking, whacking. Everyone's trying to hit the puck. Smacking into the back of the net off rebounds. Puck's bouncing around. Those guys are in there. Marner, Nylander, Tavares. They are in there smacking away at this thing, trying to score on these rebounds and get these second chance opportunities. I hope this continues and is a long-term thing and not just something we've seen over the past couple of games. But this is a real good game here tonight. In terms of, you're missing guys. You're missing important guys, that is. Nyes, Matthews, not here. Domi, out. Pacioretty, out. Like, these are numerous top 6 players. 2 at bare minimum in Matthews and Nyes. Arguably a third in Pacioretty, potentially a fourth depending on how you deploy guys in Max Domi. And it doesn't matter. Next man up. Next man up opportunity. Okay, tonight's my shot. I'm in there. Mario Kart Utah on a back-to-back. Yeah, they were. You can only play who's put in front of you. And the Leafs played a great game here tonight against this Utah team. I thought it was it's like an impressively unimpressive win. Not that exciting, really. There was like a second period that was awesome. But outside of that, it's like impressive because you played the right way. Bonnie Sports Network there pointing out Utah is no pushover. No, they're not a pushover. Utah's been a different team here. I don't know if maybe it's just because I look at them differently because they've got different uniforms and they're called something different. And they're not the Arizona Coyotes attached to the same name and bad juju that I've associated with them for a long time. But they're just not. They're not a pushover. They're not an easy team to take down. They get pretty good goaltending, and you took care of it. Didn't matter. How many times would we have come on here on the postgame and said, got goalie tonight. Wow, Vejmelka made 35 5-alarm saves and finished with 60 on the night. I saw it pointed out in the chat. Apologies, I don't remember who it was who said it, but we had like 7 posts tonight as well. Obviously an exaggeration on that, but like Robertson, I think, hit 2 posts. Holmberg hit the crossbar. Alex Nylander hit a post. Nylander scores at the end, but obviously it doesn't happen because he's a second too late. Like, this could have been a very different scoring game and result. And then at the end there, when it's time to shut it down, you had 5.5 expected goals. 5.5 expected goals on the night. You could have easily won this one by plenty more. This is a good Chief hockey game. I see Chris Arsenault there, says, good game tonight. Opponents off a back-to-back, but we had almost full AHL bottom 6. Yeah, boys are playing well with that Chief hockey. Yeah, and the other thing, too, was I saw Berube's comments the other day about does the team adapt to the coach or take on the identity of the coach? And he said, I think they do. Maybe it's a myth. Maybe we're going to be the biggest suckers of all time, and this is game 21, and we're getting all horny about this. And by game, 1 of the playoffs, 2 of the playoffs, we're going to go, oh, shit. Same group as always. But right now, the thing I would push back on is we are seeing wins and seeing a style of play in which we are not accustomed to as Leafs fans with this core 4. Like, I know there's a lot of people in the chat right now who are getting down. They're downplaying this victory because they're saying it's Utah. First, Utah, not a pushover. Second, just take the opponent aside. This is not a 1-game sample size of this. This is 4 straight wins. Wins against formidable opponents here. I mean, a win here tonight against Utah. You beat the Golden Knights 3-0. You beat the Oilers 4-3. You beat the Capitals 4-3. You had that stinker loss to the Sens 3-0. But then even before that, 3 convincing wins before that as well. Boston 4-0. Red Wings 3-1. Canadians 4-1. Remember the conversations after those 3 games as well? The way that they played in those 3 games? And then you went to the Ottawa game. Stinker. But the 3 prior to that was like, wow, defensive play, buying into the shot blocking, committing to getting pucks out, taking hits to make plays from top to bottom in the lineup. Everyone was involved. And then you know what you're getting on top of that? Big boys scoring goals. Your guys who make $11.5, $10.5 million are scoring you goals. Those guys could just go to sleep. You're going to lose these games. And it's like, well, the bottom 6 has to score. That's what we're going to hear about. The bottom 6 has to score. We're getting production and goal scoring from those guys while they are simultaneously playing the right way. They are not just on an island doing whatever the fuck they want. They are playing the Berube style. Otherwise, I can guarantee you a guy like William Nylander would not be getting ice time. He'd not be walking away from this game here tonight. You know how dominant this guy has been? Nylander walks away from this game with 22 minutes and 16 seconds of ice time. The next closest is John Tavares, 21 minutes. Mitch Marner, 21 minutes. I believe Willie played like 15 minutes through, around 15 minutes through the first two periods there. So obviously cools off like a tiny bit into the third. But situationally, maybe some spots you're not going to have him out there for or anything. I mean, the guy was a mutant tonight. He's playing 2 straight minutes on every power play. He's playing with both units. The goal, you want an example of these guys are playing the right way and buying into the Berube style of hockey? How's this? The goal William Nylander scored was started by him winning a battle along the boards in the defensive zone, stealing the puck from the opponent, refusing to give up on the play even after the puck bounced around a little bit there, and it could have just easily turned around the other way. And he takes off down the ice with the puck on a breakaway, burns past the defender, hustling his ass off down the ice, and then makes a nice move and scores. Commitment in the defensive zone to win the battle. The hustle down the ice with the puck wins the race to the net. And then a William Nylander skill play to put him on pace for 55 goals this year. 55 goals Nylander's on pace for here now. What a game from that guy. And great buy-in from the entire team as a whole. We've got a super chat here. I don't want to let it go any longer, so let's get to this one. You guys have questions you want answered, send them in the chat there. You can send your super chats in at Leafs Nation 401. Make sure to subscribe here to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. You don't want to miss it, whether it's pregame best bets, which we won here tonight. We'll get to a little bit later on in the show. Or it's a breakdown of what the new lines are going to be. I don't know. Not everyone's on Twitter, so maybe you guys don't see them. Maybe you're looking for some information so you can tell your buddies what's going on with the team that night, where guys are slotting in, who's on the power play. Those are coming out in the pregame shows with myself every single game day. Or it's Leafs Morning Take with Nick, Rosie, Carter Hutton, all the boys hopping through there Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, breaking things down, talking about games from the night before, the biggest stories, having some cool guests come through, all that right here on Leafs Nation 401. Super chat from Awaiting Absolution. Thank you, Awaiting Absolution, for the super chat. Awaiting Absolution says, Leafs have a tendency to play hard but dumb hockey. That has been a problem for them many years. It's preventing them from getting to the next level. See, the play hard but dumb hockey is an interesting concept there, because I feel like what we're seeing now is them playing hard. I don't think that this is something we've seen them do consistently in years past. Like, this style of play is playing hard hockey. What we've seen them do before is give effort. I don't think they play hard or have played hard. I think they play hard now. Dumb hockey, 100%. I think that that's fair. We've seen them do that over and over and over again, so I think that that's a fair point there, Awaiting Absolution. But, like, This here tonight, this was hard hockey. This was playing the game hard. This was playing smart. You dominated Utah here tonight on the underlying metrics. You generated significantly more opportunities than they did. You generated more dangerous opportunities. Zoran the Barbarian says they've been playing high school hockey for the last 3 years. Buddy, they ain't even been playing that. They've been playing pond hockey for the last 3 years. It's like what Carter said when he came on for the Ottawa game. After that, he's like, that was pond hockey tonight. That was reverting back to who they have been in years past, where that game against the Sens was just no structure, commitment. Like it was gross. It was ugly all the way around. And then they said, we can't fucking do this anymore. Berube is not going to allow that to happen. You play this, like this is the thing. Yeah, there's elements of this game that are not sexy. There's elements of this style of play that are not fun. They're just not. But winning games and having success is far more fun, in my opinion, than getting points and highlight reel goals. Your highlight reel goals are going to come if you play the game the right way. You think Colorado, Edmonton, Dallas, Florida, Tampa, you think they're immune to highlight reel goals? You think they don't get on there on the Sports Center top plays of the night every morning? They do. But they're playing the right way, and they're going to have a better opportunity than flash and dash types of teams that just want to go east-west, dance around all night, and try to do fancy shit to beat the opponent. Jesse there bringing up, north-south allows for a more intense forecheck. They were overskating before. You are not only like, you are creating havoc. You are wearing the other opponents down. You're in hard on the forecheck, and it's a progression here, right? Because now you are at the point where you are capable of getting pucks in deep and making the defenseman think twice about it. Not because he thinks you're going to go and smash his head through the glass, but because he is just thinking, my time and space is going to be taken away quickly. I'm not going to have the ability to pick up this puck, turn up ice, do what I want with it. You are going to have to go back, get the puck, make a play quickly. It causes pressure, it creates turnovers, it creates opportunities for yourself there. I believe it was Alex Steves in the third period who, as a result of an intense, fast-paced, hard forecheck, made the puck pop out into the slot and he was able to get a shot. It happened with Tavares in the third period there as well. You do things like that and you're going to continue to get chances. Look what happened in the Edmonton game. Matthew Nyes scores that goal because there was a forecheck. Obviously, part of it is just Evan Bouchard turned his brain off for a second, but there is a forecheck. There are players in the offensive zone. You create opportunities because you make them fuck up. You make them make the mistake. Grabenkin said it. Forecheck, backcheck, paycheck. You play like that. I know I keep saying this, but it's like you play like that, you're going to have way more opportunity for long-term success. It's not as flashy. It's not as pretty. But those flashy and pretty plays become easier. You don't have to work as hard to make them happen because you are causing chaos for the other team. Just not allowing a lot. This is fun hockey to watch right now. Like, I am enjoying this. Rodolfo Claren
The Leafs have a clear strategy, counterattack. It's not a coincidence that they just go full throttle second and part of the second period. There are 2 lazy periods first and first part of the third period. Greetings by a Leafs fan from Chile. Well, welcome to the show here. But that is also part of it, right? What we used to see was like hoping the other team would make a mistake. And I used to get so frustrated watching because you would watch them play against Florida, Tampa, Boston, and they would impose their will on you. They would go into the game and say, we are playing this way. We are going to force you into this pace, this style. We are not going to allow you to have your way with it. This is going to be all us, all we want to do. I used to watch the Bruins and the Panthers and the Lightning and those guys come into Toronto, or us have to go on the road and play them, and just have to mold to their type of play, which we weren't capable of doing because they were attack, and they would ram it down your throats. The Leafs now have flipped the script on this. This is no longer about having to survive in a game against teams who are just going to put their style of play on you and say, you're going to have to deal with this and beat us at our style. The Leafs say, hey, Vegas, watch this. You guys think you play heavy and fast and hard hockey? You think you can go in here and just push us around, get in these scrums around the net? No, you can't. Nikita Grabenkin is going to stick up for people in scrums. Morgan Riley against Utah here is going to go in and stick up for Mitch. And you know who else is going to follow up in that scrum and not turn to the bench like they usually do? Mitch. The camera cuts to Mitch and he goes into the scrum there as well. It's a different mindset because these guys know for the first time in a long time, maybe ever here, that they have people who are going to stick up for them and stick up for each other. Just changes the dynamic, changes the level of confidence. Puts you in a much better position. We'll say that. We have 50 likes here on the stream. If we get to 100, let's get to 100. Why not get to 100 here for tonight? We'll do the smelling salts again. You guys know it. Hit the like button. We get to 100. Every 50, we have to do it. All right. Smelling salts. Thank you. Oh my God. Oh, there. Eyes are watering from that one. Super chat here. Joe, welcome back to the channel. Oh my God. And thank you for the super chat. Joe says, Joe Hill, back check, forecheck, paycheck. Yes. Simple concept, really. It's something that has been around from the inception of hockey, I'm sure. Forecheck, back check, paycheck. Simple concepts that help you win hockey games when it matters the most. And something that has been lacking from this group for quite some time. But now they've got it. Dr. Gatsis explains math, says, liked for the salts. Mario Valella. Let's answer this. Mario says, and I'll get to that super chat next. Mario says, Holmberg is not a second line center. Trade for Kadri, please. Mario, you're in luck, brother. Holmberg will not be your second line center when Max Domi and Austin Matthews come back, and potentially David Kampf, and he just gets pushed all the way down the lineup to playing third line wing or fourth line wing or something like that.
So don't worry. Trade for Kadri, interesting. I would say it's a complete different conversation than the one of, oh, Holmberg's not a second line center. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Another super chat here. Seo Sangnam. Again, hopefully I'm saying that right. Thank you for the super chat there. I appreciate it. You guys want to get your questions in, send your super chats. Leafs Nation 401 right here on YouTube. Teams make their own luck by pressuring their opponents with forecheck, high-end talent, layered defense against counterattack, etc. Complicate the mental loop of observe, orient, decision action. I wish I could add much more to what Seo just said there. I appreciate the super chat, obviously, but that's bang on. Teams make their own luck by pressuring their opponents with forecheck, high-end talent, layered defense against a counterattack. Yeah, like, there are so many nights, again, we're going to do the whole previous thing and compare it to tonight, because this is a weird one here as well, because, yeah, it's Utah, it's a Sunday nighter, it's a second night of a back-to-back for them, but the way that this game was played, how many times did you look out there and see guys getting in lanes, not allowing Utah to easily get their way to the middle of the ice? How often did you watch the forecheck go where it was a guy finishing a check? And this is the biggest issue where people used to get mad here in the postgame shows that for the time I've been doing it, where I'm saying, I want to see you go into the offensive zone and finish checks. And people are like, whoa, Marner and Nylander and these guys, like, that's not what they're here to do. We want to see them score goals. I'm like, yes, I know that. But if you get in there and you finish off a check on a guy, you do not have to hammer him. You do not have to inflict pain or put him through the glass. You just need to get in there quickly, effectively, and take away the time and space. If you do that, they start to think. I mean, I just said it like 10, 15 minutes ago, but it's like they go back there to get the puck, and all of a sudden they're thinking. It's not about, am I going to get killed? They are thinking, I don't have time. I might not have time. I need to get this puck off my stick. It makes for a rushed play. It makes for mistakes. It makes for opportunities generated for your star players. It makes for opportunities generated for your third and fourth lines. It changes, as Darren says, everything when the other team is pushing. Every second becomes more important, and it's like you just need to take away time and space. We used to see the puck go in the corner, and all of them were on the hook for this. Matthews, Tavares, Marner, Nylander. Your depth guys were doing it too, which is always a fucking problem. The puck would go in the corner, the defenseman would go to retrieve it, and they would just lazily skate in. Like, you can't hit in men's league. That's how guys forecheck in men's league. Puck goes in, skate in after the guy. Maybe you got to get there, but it's like no one's going to hit. No one's doing anything. Go back to get the puck. Take your time, turn up the ice, and then you go. That's how they were playing NHL games in the fucking playoffs. These guys now are at least getting on the opponent quickly. Get on the defenseman quickly. Make him think about it. Make him have to make a play. Don't allow them to make a play and hope they make a mistake. Force them to make a mistake. It changes things. It just changes the dynamic of the game, and then you're not sitting here saying, we got unlucky. Oh, wow, we played really well tonight. We had a lot of chances. We were really skilled, but we got unlucky. Oh, wow, we had 50 shots, and none of them went in. We got goalied. No, screw that. Make your own luck. Make your own chances. Make your own opportunities. Great super chat there, Seo. Another super chat. Joe Hill, interesting one. This is a good one to get to here tonight as well. I got to be honest here. Nicky Bobby has to have the worst luck in the league.
I mean, yes. I mean, there's a second part to it, but I want to get to that. The second part of it, of Joe's super chat for those, is hoping for good things in Florida this week. I hope for good things as well. Wednesday, Saturday, Florida, Wednesday, Saturday, Tampa. But as far as the first part, I got to be honest here, Nicky Bobby has to have the worst luck in the league. Yes. But I don't don't know where I'm at on this guy anymore. I've said it a million times. Like, I don't think it's going to work for him here in Toronto. I think he needs a change of scenery. I think he needs to go somewhere to a team that's not going to make the playoffs. He needs to be in a top 6 role, be allowed to make mistakes, maybe be the focal point. He's just not here. He's not that guy. And like, this game tonight is frustrating. And when I say this, I do feel bad for him, because he's probably going home at night and pulling his hair out, being like, I can't believe I can't score. But he has an empty net. And he hits the post. You know, like, my thing is that we are being told from the time he was drafted to his experience with the Marlies to him getting up here with the club, he's a goal scorer, he's a goal scorer, he's a goal scorer. Steven Lorentz has more goals than him right now. Like, Morgan Rielly has more goals than him right now. When you have these opportunities, you need to bury. And I do feel bad, because it probably is killing him that it's not going in. And I honestly have I want to make it clear too, I have no issue with him as a player. I just don't think his skill set is needed in Toronto. I don't think it's what they need to push them over the top. And I don't think he's going to get the opportunities that he can likely get elsewhere. If he goes to a team that's not as competitive as the Leafs are, and they can put him into the top 6 where they are, and he can be like a go-to guy, it's probably going to be very different for him. He's probably going to stand out more. Maybe the puck ends up on his stick more. But he's not better than Nylander, Marner, Tavares, or Matthews. So then his only option would be to be better or more effective than Nyes, McMahon, Pacioretty, Domi, whoever they decide to put on the wing of those other units, of those other groups. He's just not adding anything that's better or different than what those guys currently offer. It's the wrong situation for him. There's an element of him being unlucky, like an empty netter and you hit the post. Jesus, man. Poor guy. But also, are you or are you not a goal scorer? Couple of one thing too that was like, wow, are you kidding me? Was you're not scoring goals. You are not. This is going to be the one negative thing I think I'll say about the game tonight, or anybody playing in the game tonight. You are not scoring goals. So how do you impact the game elsewhere? Well, I would say, personally, the way I would look for him if I'm on the bench or if I'm in management is, where are you impacting the game elsewhere? So, are you going to be in hard on the forecheck? Are you going to block shots or commit to getting pucks out of the zone? And if you know what I'm talking about, less than 5 minutes left in the third period, the Leafs are down or up by 1 goal, in their own zone. They've just been hemmed in for a period of time. And I know some of the other guys are not exempt from this, and we'll get to that, but they're bringing up, those guys are also contributing in other ways. Robertson has the puck on the wall in the third period with less than 5 minutes left, and all he needs to do is get this thing out of the zone. Flip it out into the air, into the neutral zone. Chip it off the glass. Allow for a change to happen here. Get this thing out, regroup, whatever. The defenseman for Utah steps in to pinch on him. He looks up and doesn't make the play to get the puck out of the zone and kind of steps aside from the hit a little bit to not fully take it. Puck stays in the zone. The Leafs get lucky. Nothing ends up happening negatively on that play. They don't get hemmed in for too much longer. You basically are able to get the puck back and regroup and get the thing back up the ice. But that has to be out. That has to get out of the zone. You're not scoring. You are not scoring. So get the other aspects of your game down. Be better in those areas. Not what you want to see from a guy like that late in a game. We do have another super chat. It's the final thing that we'll talk about with Robertson in the game here tonight before I get to some other stuff. I see some people asking me to talk about Marner. I thought I did, but we'll get to more of Marner. Let's go super chat. Another super chat from Joe Hill. Joe, thank you. Joe says, clarification, Nicky Bobby has had bad luck, but has bad luck, but Greb's playing 7 minutes tonight. 7 minutes tonight was more memorable than his shot off the post. Yeah, I mean, Joe, I think I kind of talked a little bit about the Robertson stuff there in the last one, just based off your last super chat, but yeah, Garabankin is fun to watch. He's real fun to watch. At least exciting. 6 1/3. Enough Robertson. We've just won 7 of 8. 6. We're being asked questions about Robertson. He was noticeably not great here in this game tonight. Sometimes you just need to acknowledge things that go on, even if they are negative, when good things do happen with the team. Come on. You know what? Just for that, you're going to wait to hear anything about Marner. 17 more likes till we get to 100 here, get to more super chats. I'm going to answer this question because 6, we're on the Robertson topic. It is actually relevant here in this game tonight, and you're just throwing that one out there. Come on. 16 can wait. We're getting to Hakanpaa. Mario Villela, Zack, Hakanpaa experiment over. Well, I don't know. I think Hakanpaa will be used as a extra piece. I think that they are going to do everything they can in the background to get him back up the game speed. You put him in the one game, I think a little bit to kind of kick Benoit in the ass a bit and say, hey, we've got other guys here. Get the fuck going. But otherwise, I mean, you need depth guys. You need extra players. You need guys that you can carry along with you. I don't think Hakanpaa was bad in the games that he played, but he looked a little bit behind the play. He looked a little bit like he was trying to kind of keep up, and in an NHL game, that can be hard to do. He hasn't played in a while. It's just not the ideal. Not ideal for a guy that big and that slow already to be steps behind physically and steps behind mentally. And I don't mean he's slow mentally. I probably shouldn't have even said that, because now it implies that was what I meant. I did not mean that. I mean, like, mentally catching up to the game, getting back into it, and going at game speed. He's got to catch up to that stuff. Practicing is not going to do that for you. It's not even going to get you physically up to speed, because the pace of the game and the way things happen is just not the same. The intensity, all of that, it's not the same than actually getting into a game. So is the Hakanpaa experiment over? I don't think so. I think it's just a long, slow burning experiment, which may kind of be annoying, but it's probably best. It's probably the best decision. Probably best thing to do for this group, to allow them to continue on. And also, it did give Benoit, I think, a little bit of a kick. I think he's been playing a little bit better lately. So, yeah. Good night there. For Benoit, at least, I thought. Also, funny Benoit there on the draw. Lawson Crouse goes at Steves. Okay, I mean, I guess he's trying to get energy going and give it to his team there. They just had a couple of goals scored against them in a short period of time. They need to wake up. He's like, all right, let me see if I can get some people going. But Steves is the guy you're going to go at. I know Ryan Reeves isn't here, but like, Benoit was on the ice. Even Grabenkin's probably a more likely Grabenkin's probably a more likely dance partner there for you. All right. I made you wait. You were not the only person in the chat, 6, who's brought this up. But because of your comment about enough Robertson, even though it was topical to tonight's game, you punished the other people who wanted to hear about Marner. So when you go to bed tonight, 6, think about that. Think about what you've done. Other people wanted to hear about him, and you made them wait. You made them hear about Yanni Hakanpaa, who didn't play tonight before that. Shame. Mitch Marner. He has played unbelievable since Matthews went out. Aside from the one game against the Sens where everyone stunk, like, let's call it what it is. Everyone stunk. Aside from that one game, he has been incredible. Elevating his play, scoring goals here now. Commitment defensively, commitment on the PK. Mitch has not only been getting points and producing at an incredible rate, but Mitch has done something here where I feel like I have not seen this to this extent previously. Mitch and Willie are taking over games. They are not just guys who are scoring goals and it's like, oh, nice, great, they scored a goal. No. There are points in these games, especially over the last, 7 or 8, where it's like, 7 of 8, I should say, because they also won 7 of 8. There are points where I'm like, this is the William Nylander show. This is the Mitch Marner show. And not because they're making it about themselves, but because they are that dominant right now. Not allowing anything to go past them defensively. Mitch, the play against Edmonton starts. Frank, I see your question. I'll answer it. The play in Edmonton, the goal starts when he breaks up the play on the 2-on-1 going back. Is a half 2-on-1. I shouldn't even say that. It was a broken 2-on-1. And he breaks up the play, turns up ice, and absolutely cooks it down. Holds. Everyone in the world, including Tavares, thinks the pass is going across to him. And he shoots. Mitch Marner shoots. And scores and wins that game. Tonight, that breakaway. Tavares also, by the way, unbelievable pass up the ice. From his own goal line, full ice stretch to Marner, who was out there catching Utah on a change. A bad change there, or not a bad change, a poorly timed change, I guess I should say, because they kind of got unlucky a little bit. It's in the Leaf zone. They go off the ice. Marner spreads out. JT hits him from goal line to blue line, who goes in on a breakaway and goes tit on Vejmelka. Awesome shot. Great presence of mind to get down there and get yourself into a position to receive that pass. And then unbelievable finish as well. Yeah, Diz-K. Old Marner tries to thread the perfect sauce pass, hits a skate, and it goes the other way. New Marner drives the net and snipes. Yes, drives the net. Maybe let's dial that one back a little bit. I wouldn't say drives the net, but I think it would be at least fair to maybe not say drives the net, but say to go to the dangerous area a little bit more. Drives the net would imply kind of like maybe get a little physical and get in there, and I don't know if he did that, but yeah, he went to the front. He's done that a bunch here. The play where Cooley goes at him, takes out his legs. I swear to you, I was like, he's not a power forward. No, he's not. But again, like Willie drives the net. You know, he's not a power forward. I don't think we would call him. The play where Cooley takes out, I believe it's Cooley, takes out Marner's knees or legs, whatever. When Riley goes up to him after to say, hey, don't do that, the camera cuts to the corner, and it's Mitch's head who's in there. Like, guys, you see his face. He went into the scrum. He joined in the play. And I was like, you know the Leo DiCaprio meme where pointing at himself on the TV? That was basically me. Obviously, I'm not on the TV, but I'm watching Mitch. Oh my God, he's in there. 100 times out of 100 previously, the camera would cut to Riley in the scrum. Riley's in there battling. Then it would go, camera cut, Mitch skating to the bench. It's like, I don't need him to go in there and punch. Guys, I don't need him to go in there and fight. But showing that you'll go in there and just at least grab somebody makes me feel like your balls have dropped at least a little bit. The most important test, unfortunately, we can have this conversation 82 times this year. From game 1 to game 82. You know how much of it is going to matter game 1? Unfortunately. That's the true test. We'll see what kind of player he is when we get to the playoffs. And if this continues, a.k.a. Berube makes 16 rate his teammates from 1 to 10 every day. It's funny. But it doesn't matter until we get to the playoffs to know. And it sucks. And we're going to do the same song and dance that we've done for 8 years now, going into the 9th year. But we all know it's true. We all know it's true. Yeah, and the comments I made about Willie with the power forward thing, I was obviously... He's not a power forward. I know that. Frank asked this question. Zack, they dodged this question on, I'm not going to say where, another network. Hopefully you guys are watching this network, subscribing to this channel, and the other Nation Network shows that we've got. Please make sure you're doing that. And actually, you know what? As I go to get to this, and as I get to this question, and we're talking about these other networks and the stuff we've got here on this network and the great work we're doing here, I'm sure you guys have heard already. I'm sure you guys know about all the great things that we've got going on. I'm sure you know about all the other shows that we have on the channel. But are you guys aware of the upcoming show we have? Part of the Nation Network, over on the Daily Face-Off. Because we are about to launch a week away from launching a brand new show right over on the Daily Face-Off. Exciting news. Mark your calendars. I'm trying to build anticipation. That's kind of the first time I tried that tactic out there, getting slowly into it as we build it to get you guys going. What is he going to say? What is he going to say? I was hoping the chat was going to be like, what is it? What is it? What's happening? It didn't really work. Probably won't do that one again. I thought it would be like a cool, fun way to get there, and you guys would be like, holy shit, I can't believe he did it. Anyways, mark your calendars, set your alarms, and clear your schedule, because this sheet with Jeff Merrick is coming your way starting December 2nd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. He's going live on the Daily Face-Off YouTube channel every weekday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Whether you're glued to the NHL, keeping tabs on the PWHL, or tracking the next wave of junior hockey, of talent in junior hockey, the sheet has you covered. Jeff will be diving into the biggest storylines shaping hockey today, news, rumors, emerging trends, and insights from every corner of the rink. He's got a lineup of incredible guest hosts and interviews that bring unique perspectives from all corners of the world. From seasoned executives to top journalists and Olympic champions, the sheet is your destination for in-depth conversations with people shaping the game. So check out the sheet starting December 2nd on the Daily Face-Off YouTube channel, and follow at The Sheet Hockey. That's at the SHEET HOCKEY and all your favorite social media platforms so you don't miss a second. The sheet, Jeff Merrick, December 3rd. I thought I would try that one out, like a little anticipation. Hopefully it built up. I think you guys are excited about that. I don't know why you wouldn't be excited. Jeff Merrick returning to the airwaves December 2nd, Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, live. Make sure to subscribe to the Daily Face-Off. Jeff Merrick back on the radio for you guys. Frank here did ask, and again, not going to say, but they dodged this question. When do they give Tavares back to C? Frank, never. They're never giving Tavares back to C. I mean, in all honesty, that would just not make sense to do. That would be kind of an insane thing to swap it from him to Matthews and back to him. It's not happening. And also, I feel like there's like a weight lifted off of John Tavares' shoulders here now, not wearing the C. It's like he's doing the same thing. He's the same guy. He's gonna be the same guy in the locker room. But it's like there's like all of this pressure that has just been alleviated from his shoulders, and he can just play differently, a little bit more loose, have a little bit more fun.
I don't know. It's like he doesn't have to be the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs anymore. And there's no shame in it. Like, no one in Toronto is upset that he's not the upset with his tenure. He was a great captain, I think. The only thing he ever did that I was like, oh my God, I can't believe again, was we learned our lessons. Like, okay, I don't need to hear that anymore. I've had enough about learning lessons. But it's the amulet. Yeah, it's the amulet. He puts on the amulet and he's buzzing. He's not getting the C back, Frank. Funny question. I want to answer it. But yeah, he's not getting it. Yeah, get your amulets. I need an amulet sponsor here on the show. All right, a couple more things before we wrap up. One thing, though, to remind you guys, there's over 200 people watching here still. It is 11 p.m. on a Sunday. We've been at this for over an hour. Usually we go show length based off vibes of the chat. And in all honesty, I mean, come clean. Viewership. You want the show to go longer. I mean, if people are staying, I'll keep buzzing. If the chat's buzzing, then we keep going here. That's kind of how this works. I mean, the questions being asked, the vibes of the game, all of that, it can build in, continue, and then that's how we get here. But yeah, a longer one here tonight for sure. Now we're 7. I also want to just point out to people, you obviously can find the show here, Leafs Nation After Dark. You can watch it live with us, whether it's on Twitter and you want to participate in the show there. If you're watching on Facebook, and I know there's people who are commenting on the live stream on Facebook as well, or if it's just you guys who are doing this, I appreciate you watching live. You can always catch the show after the fact on all podcasting platforms. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can find it. The Leafs Nation After Dark. The listener base has been growing. I see it all the time. I thank you guys for the support. It's been going up and up and up, and thank you guys for that. That's so awesome. It's cool for me to see every time I click on it and I look and I'm like, wow. We are buzzing. People are tuning in and listening. That's cool. Thank you guys. But yeah. Keep liking, subscribing, check it out on all podcasting platforms. All right. Let's get to our play of the game. Oh, we hit 100. We hit 100 likes. Let's do the salts. Thank you for liking the stream. Thanks for pointing that out, Joe, as well. All right. Smelling salts. Thank you. Oh. Oh my God. All right. All right, let's go play the game. Play of the game. Play of the game. You would think Willie's goal. You would think Marner's goal. It's not. Not for me. The play of the game is the Joseph Woll save. Late in the third period. Stretching out to get across. And it's not just the stretch to get across. It's the second effort to get across and make the save. Joe Woll is down and out. Like that was an easy goal. And he finds it within himself, up 1 goal in the third period, to get across, get an extra little movement, and make the toe save on the empty net. Like that was an empty net. That was a surefire goal. And he finds it, digs a little deeper, gets his leg outstretched, and makes a save. That was a sick save at an unbelievable time. If he did that in the first or the second, that's fine. It would have been sick.
It would have been a highlight. That save, third period, late in the third period, up 1 goal, balls of steel on the kid. Balls of steel. That's one of the things I think I've always enjoyed about listening to Jamie McLennan talk about goaltenders is, yeah, it's one thing to make cool, big saves. It's another thing to make timely saves. When it matters, do you make the big save? In the first and second period, are you making sliding across backdoor saves? That's awesome. Nobody's ever going to take that away from you. But in the third period, when your team's up by 1 and they make one mistake and they get an opportunity, are you getting across? I've heard him talk about that, talking about these timely saves, these important timing saves. He made that there. That was awesome. Play of the game, honorable mentions, number 1. Marner, breakaway goal. Tanev battling. Yeah, Joe, honorable mention while giving the chop to Cooley with his glove was also funny. Tanev battling in the corner. Tavares gets the puck at the goal line and spreads the ice to the far blue line in on a B-way. Nice shot, nice goal. Unbelievable. Mitch was dancing tonight. Number 2. You want to talk about, again, playing the game the right way. Nylander. In his own zone, win the battle, steal the puck from the Utah player, take off down the ice, beat the other defenseman back, get yourself separation onto the breakaway, makes a nice move, forehand, backhand, goal, little slick Willie Styles. Nasty. Those were my honorable mentions. The wall save is my play of the game. One final thing here before I get to best bet as well. I want to point out Alex Nylander, who plays tonight, signs an NHL deal to jump up with the team. Is going to just be here now because he signed a one-way. He has to clear to go back down. Super cool to see brothers playing together in the NHL. Cool to see them on the same line there too. I know that was a real big important moment for Willie and his brother and his family. One thing I would say, I enjoyed that Willie did not let this moment get the best of him and ruin his ability or his level of play tonight. That's something that could have very easily happened. Where, hey, he's caught up in this awesome day. They're going to play together. They're going to play in the same second power play. All those things. It could have just kind of overwhelmed or consumed him, and maybe his play deteriorates from that. It didn't happen. He just didn't allow that to become too much. And he was one of the best players on the ice tonight. Morgan Riley on the Mark Masters tweeted out, Morgan Riley on the Nylander brothers playing together tonight for the first time in the NHL. They're pretty excited. I think William, maybe more than Alex, if that makes any sense. He was very excited. That was this morning. Alex Nylander on playing with his brother William Nylander in the NHL. Something I'll remember forever. David Alter there tweeting out as well after the fact. William on playing with Alex for the first time in the NHL. I mean, just the entire day was special, and seeing him out there. The first period was kind of just crazy. It felt pretty crazy, and then settled in, and it felt more normal. So yeah, it was very special. And of course, we got the win, which was nice. That was cool. The pregame picture, these guys standing together. If they connected on a goal here tonight, that would have been the kind of King Daddy Topper of the night. And obviously, it doesn't end up happening, but regardless, very cool moment. Just a cool moment to see brothers playing together and being on the ice for Nylander's goal. Alex Nylander got to celebrate with William for scoring that goal. That was awesome. It's hard to look at moments like that and not enjoy it. That was fun. As far as Alex's play tonight, he made a couple great plays. I feel like there's probably a little bit for him being a little bit more nervous. You're not the kid who makes You're not the brother who makes $11.5 million and is one of the core four. You were in the AHL like 2 days ago. Want to make sure he impresses. Want to make sure he's going to stay with the club. I feel like if he settles in a little bit here, we could see more progression from him, and maybe he actually becomes a much more effective player. But like, I don't know, maybe it was just because of the story, but I noticed him more than some other guys tonight. I thought he looked good. I thought he played well. Let's get to our best bet segment, recap what happened here, because it was a good night for the boys on the ice. It was a good night for us in our pockets. Unfortunately, not so much for Bet365 if you watched the pregame and you tailed along. But this is the best bet segment. It's brought to you by Bet365, proud partner of the Leafs Nation pregame and the Leafs Nation after dark. Open an account Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N. That's code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. All right, we talked about the Nylander brothers there and how things went for them tonight. Well, one of those brothers having a good night and getting on the score sheet helps us out tremendously. I saw it before the game, and I went, yep, that's the one. That is the one we got to get on here. William Nylander, anytime goal, plus 145. We've been doing this in our responsible gaming unit sizes. We're making sure that we are betting responsibly, betting reasonably, betting within our limits. We're setting a unit size of $100. Tonight's bet was a full unit. $100 bet at plus 145. Plus 145 every single time for William Nylander in a spot like this is going to be a banger. His family was here. His brother was playing. He plus 145 against Utah on a line where he is the focal point. He's playing with Nick Robertson and Pontus Holmberg. He's playing 2 consecutive minutes on the power play. He's playing with the first unit, the second unit. Plus 145 was criminally mispriced here from William Nylander tonight. $100 profited us $145. $145. That brings us on the season to up $147. Yes, it's been an up and down season so far for us to start. We bet $100 on that one, and we profited $145 here tonight. Shout out to William Nylander and the Nylander brothers and all the buzz that was generated from those two to help contribute to this goal here tonight. But yes, that was our best bet, part of Bet presented by Bet365. Shout out to them. Make sure if you are betting, you're betting at Bet365 and use code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N, when you sign up. Final segment before we get out of here. I want to hear your feedback. I want to know what you guys have to say in the chat here. Give me... 6 1/3 says my house pet made that same bet, Zack. All right. Let's get to grade of the game. Give me your grades in the chat. I want to know what you guys think about this one, how you feel. As much as I just hyped up this game, I think I'm going to give it like a... I'm debating between a B plus and like an A minus. I think I'm probably more towards the B plus because 1 for 6 on the power play. As better as I thought the movement was, and these guys were here tonight creating. You went 1 for 6. That's got to be better. Joe Wall, I was impressed with here tonight. Neither of those was he going to save. It still ends up with a .920 save percentage. The Leafs generated 35 shots on goal against Vejmelka, which was 10 more than Arizona got. They had 5 expected goals here tonight. The deserve to win meter was 81.9% in their favor. I popped over and took a look at that. We showed it on the show earlier tonight. Also, I mean, look at this. I pull up, you can take a look at the expected goals in all situations and see who had what, where. If you look at over at Money Puck, this is where I pull that from. Mitch led the Leafs and the entire game here tonight with 1.1 expected goals. Logan Cooley, 1.09. John Tavares, second on the Leafs. Third in the game, 1.08. Fraser Minton, 0.65. Alex Nylander, 0.62. William Nylander, 0.51. You had guys from top to bottom, generating opportunities. Obviously, Nick Robertson there, 0.42 expected goals because of the post that he hit, I would assume. But I mean, even Bobby McMahon there tonight, he's doing big man power forward stuff. He's driving the net hard. He's winning battles. He's winning races. Yeah, like there was a lot of generation. I see people with the C's and C+. Robert Smith there, C+. I mean, respect, but I can't get to that. I thought that this was a pretty good, pretty dominant game from that standpoint. Third period, you were under siege there for a bit, but even then, you didn't let it get the best of you. And yeah, I mean, 920 save percentage from your goaltender. It's a solid night here, and you got a bunch of AHL guys being called up and fitting in to help you get to 7 of your last 8. 7 wins in your last 8 games. You get B+, I think, is kind of where I'm at. Could have been better in the first there. You had some rest, and you had a Utah team coming off a back-to-back. You could have just took the boots to them right away and not waited till the second period, even though I don't think that they were bad in the first. I just thought that second was so much better than the first. But B+, that's my grade here tonight. That's it. That's going to do it for me here on the show. Make sure you guys tune in and subscribe here to the channel. Leafs Nation 401 right here on YouTube. Leafs Nation After Dark, wherever you get your podcasts. Tomorrow morning, Leafs Morning Take. Leafs Morning Take. Nick and David Poile. David Poile on the morning show tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe here at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. They will be live, breaking everything down from tonight's game, the Nylander brothers, Marner's dominant play, Nick Robertson unable to score goals, all of that. All of that and more tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You guys, the next time you will see me will be Wednesday. Pre-game video. Watch the pre-games. Talking about lines, lineups, matchups. What I expect from the game, what I expect from the lines, all that. Call your shot, DTS. Robertson is traded within 3 weeks. Book it. All right, DTS. We'll keep track of that one. Thanks for watching here tonight. Hit the like button on the way out. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as always. I appreciate the support from you guys. I will be back Wednesday following the game against the Florida Panthers for another live show, but you can catch me before then for another pregame show right here on this channel. Thanks so much for tuning in here tonight. This was game number 21 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season, defeating the Utah Hockey Club. Yes, that's right, the Utah Hockey Club, 3-2. In what was a weird game, but also kind of dominant, but also kind of seemed like not. But you end up with 3-2 win, and it felt like it should have been more than 3-2, but like kind of not. That type of game. Moving to 13-6-2 on the season. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. See you guys on Wednesday. Keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take, Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos. Make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.